さあ行こうか。ワン、ツー。
And good evening, welcome to Koshigaya Saitama for tonight's game here in the Japanese B-League between our hosts, the Koshigaya Alphas and the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Well, it is indeed the second matchup these two teams have met this weekend. Yesterday, Nagoya Diamond Dolphins winning emphatically against Koshigaya. The question is, can Kai Soto and the Alphas respond here with a much-needed and better performance? Well, Koshigaya currently the second best team in the B-League, just right behind Nagasaki Velka of the Western Conference, while Koshigaya currently sitting near the bottom. We're currently at the Koshigaya City General Gymnasium in what is expected to be a very tough matchup for the Alphas. Well, you just saw some of the Nagoya fans making the journey here to the Saitama Prefecture, as they'll be hoping to put more pressure on Nagasaki to maintain their excellent record. Well, there are the standings. You can see the Western Conference on the right. Number 2 is indeed Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, while number 9 ranked in the Eastern Conference, Koshigaya Alphas, with a victory of 16-27. Remember, top 3 teams will qualify for the playoffs automatically, while the final 2 positions will go to the wildcards, teams with the best records outside of the top 3. Well, we are in the second half of season number 10 of the B-League. And of course, what a big-time game it is. Well, there you can see the stats from yesterday's game. The problem for Koshigaya, they had 22 turnovers. That really did cost them, and 44 points inside the paint for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Both teams had 4 players in double figures. Well, it was Seika Dembuyu who did lead Koshigaya yesterday, but you got to think for Coach Dennis's players. I mean, that's a big win for them. Like I said, last night, the dominance that they displayed in the paint with only 11 second chance points and 35 fast break points, also 34 points coming from their bench. Well, there is Anthony Clemens, the man who has played for the Kazakhstan national team previously in FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers as well as FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. But they're going to need a monumental performance from him tonight if they are going to come up with a big victory. Well, Kai Soto, of course, many Filipino fans tuning in on B-League International to watch him play tonight. Of course, only had 11 points and 7 rebounds, but we'll start by looking at the lineups here for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. And some of the key players you want to look out on this team are the likes of Kyle Richardson, Scott Etherton, but Aaron Henry is their leading scorer, number 11, who does average 17 points per game. Of course, they also have Isaiah Murphy, who was Kai Soto's former teammate at the Hiroshima Dragonflies when they did win the B-League championship. And Keita Imamura, who went to 3 B-League finals, or I should say 2 actually, with the Ruku Golden Kings. Now in his second season here with Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Well, there's the starting 5 for tonight. Of course, they are going out with a very tough team indeed. Takumi Saito is a natural point guard, along with Aaron Henry, their leading scorer. Well, they also have Keita Imamura in the backcourt, while the 2 bigs will make up both Kyle Richardson and Scott Etherton. Well, like I said, they indeed will be trying to protect their record. They're the number 2 team, not only in the Western Conference, but in the B-League. And they'd like to go 2-0 this weekend. Of course, a big victory for them prior to this weekend when they played against their derby rivals, the Fighting Eagles Nagoya. And Coach Dennis knows it's going to be a tough game tonight. Well, fans, welcome to Koshigaya Saitama. We're now going to introduce the key players, starting 5 for Koshigaya Alphas, but let's enjoy the local entertainment. Well, actually, let's look at some of the key highlights. Well, this was yesterday's game. Nagoya won 101-72. Of course, disappointing performance. Seika Dembuya was the only leading scorer. They did actually have 4 players in double figures, just like Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. But the problem is they only converted 16 points in turnovers. The Koshigaya Alphas, you compare that with Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, I mean, they had 28. But the 22 turnovers did indeed cost the Koshigaya Alphas indeed. Well, 13 three-pointers converted by Nagoya. Surely something they're going to try to replicate this evening. Well, now I can officially say, let's enjoy the local entertainment. There's the key lineups. Because this team is very talented. There he is. Kaiju. Kairim. But can he get a big performance? Only 11 points and 7 rebounds yesterday. Well, they also have the likes of Jarrell Martin, Jeffrey Palmer. But Seika Doumbouya was the key factor for them. Well, some of the key Japanese players, they also have the likes of Kaito Shike and Kai Sugawara. So 2 Kais on one team. But the thing here for the Koshigaya Alphas, they've got to be able to protect home court. They cannot simply just come here and allow the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins to walk all over them. And here was an issue they had, inbounding the ball just from simple full court man-to-man pressure of Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. That's too many turnovers to commit 22. They've got to be able to take care of the basketball. At that point there, you see, you got both the likes of, well, Seika Doumbouya and Kai Soto having to bring the ball up. Now, there's the head coach, Ryuzo Anzai. Now, if you remember him, if you are a big fan of the Japanese B-League, he won the B-League championship in 2022 with Utsunomiya Brex. Well, it's a team that, they've got to be able to shoot well from the three-point line. And that doesn't mean just chucking up any shot they get. They've got to be able to create high percentage looks. Last night, 7 out of 21 from the three-point line, 33%. That just isn't going to cut it enough for Koshigaya. And only took 10 free throws. If they're going to win this game, Kai Soto's got to come in and demand a presence inside the paint. He's got to get to the double block and say, listen, I'm the best center in the B-League. You've got to give me the ball. Well, very shortly we will look. There's Jordan Atsai. Now, many Filipino fans will remember him having played for the New Zealand national team at the recent window of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. And that was a great game between Gilas and New Zealand. And Gilas didn't have Kai Soto. But tonight, Atsai, like last night, is brothers in action with Kai Soto. But let's now look at the starting 5 here for the Koshigaya Alphas. Anthony Clemens will be the key go-to backcourt player. Of course, formerly of the Sun Rocket Shibuya, now here with the Koshigaya Alphas. Another key player in the backcourt this evening for Koshigaya Alphas does see Shun Matsuyama, who will be in the lineup. Well, here he is, Kairim, Kaiju, the chosen one, the prodigal son. Only 11 and 7 last night. Because Kai now with his 3rd B-League team, having played for Hiroshima Dragonflies. Yokohama B Corsairs. Because the final 2 players to be in the starting lineup, Kai Sugawara, and of course, the big man who did lead them yesterday with 18 points, Seika Doumbouya. So quite a big lineup for the Koshigaya Alphas. Well, fans, we thank you for joining us here on B.League International. If you're watching this game live, please make sure you give this live stream a like. Subscribe to B.League International on YouTube. And let us know where in the world you're watching this game. And let us know which team you're supporting. Our 3 referees for tonight's game, we're very proud to say we have 3 of the very finest here in the B-League. They've done a magnificent job in all of our games, and they'll continue to do a great job here tonight between the Koshigaya Alphas and Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Well, looking at that lineup there, the big matchup I feel is going to be a problem here for Koshigaya is indeed Shun Matsuyama, as he has to go up against Takumi Saito. Takumi Saito, one of the many great point guards of Japan, trying to knock onto the door to get into Daio Katani's national team of the Akatsuki Japan. And KT Momura, well, we know what a threat he possesses from the three-point line for Coach Dennis and Nagoya. Well, welcome to Think Forge 01, watching from Texas. From Tejas. Well, watch out. Welcome to Rema Tiliwag, watching from Taipei. So welcome everybody. And welcome to It's Canuck watching from Vancouver. And welcome everybody live here in Koshigaya, Saitama. Matty and Thomas watching from Hong Kong. Welcome. Anthony Clements getting first possession here for the ALPHAS. Goes straight to the bucket. Very aggressive take by the veteran point guard, and that's what they need from him. Well, key players need to have big games tonight for the ALPHAS. Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Just trying to run everything through Takumi Saito. So here comes the high ball screen. Saito kicks out. Imamura finds a bit of space. Only three-pointer counted. 4-point play. Well, he has such a quick release. You only have to go back to the time he played for Ryukyu Golden Kings. Catch and shoot off the dribble, but it's a double screen set down. Goes by Kyle Richardson, but well, how do you defend it? Do you chase him? Do you go under? Do you switch it? That's a bit of a nightmare. That foul's already got to be given to Koshigaya's Kai Sugawara. Four-point play converted. That's where Koshigaya's had issues, getting the ball in bounds. Because they've got to find a more consistent way to prevent turnovers here from full court pressure. Clemens finds time and space. Matsuyama goes for a three in the corner. That's not going to go. So you got Kai Soto on the floor. Not a single paint entry in that offense. You've got to use the big man inside. Richardson down. He'll fire a three. Defended by Soto. Kai gets his first rebound. Well, there you go. There's the first turnover. 22 yesterday. Well, good recovery. Paid defense by Soto. But Imamura tries another three. Soto picks up a second board. ALPHAS have to take care of the rock. Soto gets it off the pick and roll. Nice kick out. Finds Seika Dumbuyu. And Kai gets his first assist. Seika Dumbuyu with his first field goal. Well, what did I say? Give Kai Soto an entry. Get him involved in the offense. Well, they'll go for another three in the corner. Way too wide open. And who is defending KT Imamura? Well, clearly, they didn't read the scouting report. Because this man was a key factor when Ryukyu Golden Kings won the B.LEAGUE championship in 2023. Sugawara pulls up in mid-range. That one rattles its way out. Takumi Saito just able to draw the foul against Shun Matsuyama. Well, he's one of the quickest backcourt players in the B.LEAGUE. He's a tough hand to defend. So Matsuyama's got to be on his defensive game plan tonight. You're not going to be able to stop him. You can only hope to contain. Aaron Henry. Because he'll fire a three. Make that three triples already for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Well, they've come out like a house on fire already. 17 points per game this season for Aaron Henry. Clements coming up for the screen. Seika Dumbuyu twisting. A lot of contact. Now he'll go to the free throw line. That's quite a good matchup for him because Seika Dumbuyu is going to try to bring Scott Etherton away from the paint. When naturally he's going to have an advantage with the foot speed. The foul's on Aaron Henry. Well, Seika Dumbuyu was drafted by the Detroit Pistons in the 2019 NBA draft in the first round with the 15th pick. And because one of the teams he played for in Europe is actually one of my favorite teams, CSP Limoges. Because one of the powerhouses of European basketball throughout the mid-90s. Second free throw, no good. Just over 2:30 played here in the first quarter. Saito kicks out. Now another three here. And oh my goodness, it is a cookout show for a three-pointer for the Diamond Dolphins. And third already for that man, Imamura. Way too much respect is being paid, excuse me. Dumbuya. Now going for another ISO. A lot of contact. Simply unstoppable move. Well, you can see what a threat he possesses as the natural power forward. Imamura goes back door. Scott Edgerton, another wide open three. He can make these. Dumbuya comes up with a rebound. Dumbuya finds Clemens. He'll fire a three now. This one's up, and that cuts it down to a 2-point deficit. Second three already here for Koshigaya ALPHAS. 5 points tonight for Anthony Clemens. Well, they'll go for another one. That's long going. Front eye his. Dumbuya now wants to run. Almost turning it over. Kicks out. Clemens made his last threes. Now Matsuyama will try one. Well, that's a good look. It was wide open. Matsuyama had a good look as now Edgerton goes in. Nobody makes an effort to get back. And that's disappointing transition defense by the Koshigaya ALPHAS. Well, Soto's in the paint. Got a mismatch. Got to give it to him. Got to go to work, Kai. Too big, too strong, simply just too good. And I'll say it again. Give Kai Soto the rock. Give him a touch in the paint. Well, he set that screen, went right to the paint. And no player in the B-League is going to be able to defend Kai Soto inside the key. Well, Kai Soto's former teammate, Troy Murphy, when they played the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, has subbed into the game. Another change coming as Matsuyama will leave the game. Because had that one three-point attempt that wasn't able to be converted. But great stop for that man, KT Mamora. Kai Soto has made 25 free throws this season. He's only missed 11. Well, make it 12. This guy just looks a little bit stiff today, but he's got to play through the pain. As the great shot Reyes said back in 2020, he's got to be able to get beaten. He's got to be able to play through the adversity. Of course, Nagoya making a sub as Alan Williams into the game. Saito fires the three, and that's going to be a foul on Soto. Well, I have to see the replay of that one. Was Soto in his landing area? Let's have a look here. Now watch Soto. Drop defense. Oh yeah, that's a good call, yeah. Soto clearly goes into the landing area of Takumi Saito. Wow. Kai is saying he should be an offensive foul, but I would say for Kai Soto, that's wishful thinking. That's a good call by the official. Well, as the great Rasheed Wallace would say, sometimes the basketball does tell a little bit of science fiction. Takumi Saito this season a 77% free throw shooter. He's been averaging 11 points and 5 assists. Because this season now he's 51 out of 67 from the free throw line. Well, veteran coming into the game now here for the Koshigaya ALPHAS. Man, he's been around the B-League quite a long time. Yuichi Ikeda. Still a two-possession ball game. Well, nice time by Soto. Finds Dumbuya. Dumbuya's got to finish that. Still fights for it. Still got it. And refused to give up on that play. That's great hard hustle and effort coming from Seiku Dumbuya. Saito again running around the screens. Wow. Completely obliterates the local advertisements. And I think he just says, Gomenasai, Coach Dennis. I think his response tells you everything. As now we are into halfway to go here in the first quarter. Ikeda. Can Alphas level things up? Can they take the lead maybe with a three-pointer? Ikeda coming off that screen. Now goes baseline. Reverse layup, avoids the block, but he misses the layup. That's a good take, but at that point there, Soto's got to go in for an offensive rebound. Murphy trying to run around a few screens. Pulls off in the mid-range. Rebound picked up by Ikeda. Alphas want to run, but they don't have the numbers. Clemens. Gets that screen from Kai, goes for another three. Wow, that's going to be a foul on Ikeda. Plus the three will count, I believe. That's an offensive foul, I think. The foul still, no, the three still counts. But the foul is away from the ball. Now watch here, watch Ikeda. He's got it by Takumi Saito. Here's a three-pointer. Now Ikeda goes in. Yep. Three-pointer counts. Ikeda will pick up the foul. Well, change coming in is now Nakahigashi's into the lineup. Well, welcome to Jianji Liane, 1957, watching from California. Of course, we have fans watching all over the world. Now, the officials have gone to the monitor to find out if this needs to be upgraded to an unsportsmanlike foul, which means the players now have to go to the bench. So fans, while you're at it, please let us know where in the world you're watching this game. Which team you're supporting. Are you supporting Nagoya Diamond Dolphins? Or are you supporting Koshigaya Alphas? Well, the players now have been called back. Jordan Ngatai subbing into the game for the Alphas. Of course, many know him from his time in New Zealand. Because he's one of the players that actually leads the haka, the traditional Maori dance of New Zealand sport culture. Well, Aaron Henry gets right behind him. Nice dime. Finding Alan Richardson. That's way too easy. Well, Ngatai's just come off the bench. That's quite a tough task, but you got to get used to it. Well, that's going to be another turnover. Just need a little bit of patience in their play. Well, they'll go for a quick three. They've made a lot tonight, but now they may have just cooled down. Because Nagoya don't want to get to a scenario where they live and die from the three-point line. So far, Diamond Dolphins. Well, last night they were 13 out of 22. Tonight, well, they're 4 out of 6. Got to be able to mix it up offensively. Well, it's another Koshigaya turnover. Ikeda, but at the same time, if Ikeda makes that penetration, you've got to flash get open. It's all too static. Henry trying to get inside the key. Pump fakes. Steps through. Contact. Wow, finally gets it. It just rolled its way in. Well, great take by Aaron Henry. You gotta love this. Little step through. And the basketball just obeys the laws of gravity. Back to a 4-point lead to Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Dumbuya having to play on the prip. Wow, goes behind the legs. Almost gets to take it away from him. What did we just see the big man do? Just put on a bit of Magic Johnson trying to split the defense. Under 3 minutes. Soto coming up for the high screen. Soto, back down, jump hook. That's good defense. Quickly now you see Nagoya Diamond Dolphins getting into sets. Richardson wants to go at Soto. Unable to connect that one. Soto coming up with a loose ball. Alphas now want to run. Well, Gatai's got a bit of a mismatch here. The foul is going to be called on the ground. That's going to be third team foul against Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Well, change coming into the game now here is Kamata subbing into the lineup here for the first time. So Soto goes to the bench. Dumbuya, natural center at the moment. Double team comes over. Goes to tough fadeaway. That's just not going to cut it. Rebound collected by Richardson. And that's a poor foul to give away by Kamata because now Williams will just go straight to the free throw line. Kamata's trying to say he was hooked here, but his contact's right from the beginning. I mean, you can probably pay for the most expensive basketball lawyer to represent you on that call, but nobody's going to be able to defend you. That's a foul on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any day that ends in a Y. Coach Ruzo Enzai, Koshigaya Alphas calls timeout, so we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just under 1 minute. We're live here in Koshigaya Saitama for this game in the B-League between Diamond Dolphins and the Alphas. Well, here's some highlights early on. There was a few three-pointers coming from KT Momora. Momora having quite a field day so far from the three-point line. Of course, KT Momora currently on the bench now here for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Well, Diamond Dolphins taking 6 free throws so far here in this game. Guess it's been quite a long first quarter. A little bit of full court pressure coming from Diamond Dolphins. Alpha's trying to break it down. Dolphins back in that 2-3 zone defense. Dumbuya goes baseline. Nice kick out. Ikeda close out on defense. Three's not going to go. Komatsu coming up with a rebound. Well, they'll go for another three. Can they make it fly? Komatsu battles, but it goes out of bounds. So now we'll go back to Nagoya. Well, you can understand why Nagoya Diamond Dolphins have gone to the zone. Only 7 3-pointers were converted yesterday by Koshigaya. Now, they aren't the most consistent three-point shooting team. That's a problem. Nagoya looking to extend a 6-point lead. Getting handoffs here, trying to build something with Nakigashi. Komatsu commits another foul and counted! Indeed! Well, who would have thought that was going in? What a play. It still doesn't break a smile on Coach Dennis's face. Wow. Abracadabra. Just getting the lucky bounce. And now a chance to extend it to a 9-point lead. Well, it didn't take long for Coach Anzai to realize Soto's got to be back in the game. Because Soto may look like he's having a tough one here because it is back-to-back. But the key thing with having Kai there, he's a solid insurance policy, a rim protector. Yate playing in the backcourt with Soto. Nice little hesitation. Well, Soto's got a flash, get open. Well, not a fight at all there to go for an offensive board. Diamond Dolphins looking to extend this to double-digit lead. Looks like another foul's been committed. Well, now it just looks like they're going to send Nagoya to the free throw line. Well, Nakigashi was the one who initiated the contact. That's on Joseph Diohara. Because 106 left, Koshigaya cannot afford to keep fouling. Well, Tenketsu Haramoto. Because go back to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics when he was a regular for the Japanese national team. Because probably one of the highlights of his career as he misses the first free throw was, if you remember the 2019 FIBA World Cup qualifiers, Japan lost to the Philippines twice, Chinese Taipei once, but it was the big victory against Australia that kept them alive in contention. Then they went on a run of just winning games in the qualifiers. Nick Fazekas was a part of that team. Tenketsu Haramoto was a regular at that time for the Akatsuki Japan. Just dealing with the full court pressure. Finds Soto. Goes up, and Soto finally gets another one. Second field goal for Kai. The assist coming from Jordan Ngatai. Well, Ngatai understands. He's played in those battles between New Zealand and Gilas. You give Kai the ball, he'll make things happen. Murphy goes for a step back. Three is up. Three is good from downtown. 11-point lead, and that potentially could be a 2-for-1. For Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Soto flashes high post. Cannot connect. Final shot here in the first quarter for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Just think this is going to be... And that's another unnecessary foul given away by Shun Matsuyama. So Tenketsu Haramoto will go to the free throw line. Let's have a look here. Watch Haramoto. No, I don't think so. Well, Tenketsu Haramoto, in my personal opinion, was the one who initiated that one. Well, the ball just rattles in. Devastating defeat for Koshigaya yesterday. Second one also rattles in, extending the lead to 13. Can Koshigaya get one final offense? Nagoya's got one foul to give. There's the alley-oop by Kinaliwa. Well, big-time alley-oop by Kaiju. That's what they've been waiting for the big man. Well, give him the ball, and he'll make things happen. One more time. They broke down the press. I'll say it again. Kinaliwa. Kinaliwa, Kai Soto. Kinaliwa. Well, that is the end of the first quarter. We'll take a 2-minute break, and we will be back in just under 2 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Live here in Koshigaya Saitama for this game between Koshigaya Alphas and Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, where the visitors lead by 11 points. Well, the visitors are off to a great start, shooting 5 out of 10 from the three-point line. They've had no second chance points, but also 8 points inside the paint. And they've been led by former B.LEAGUE champion Keita Imamura, who does have 10 points. Imamura currently 3 out of 4 from the three-point line, just converting 1 field goal. Koshigaya have been led by both Seika Dumbuyo and Anthony Clements. Both players combined total of 16 with 8 apiece. Well, can they go for three-pointer number 6? You bet they can. Cooking from downtown, Taketo Kato. Superb three-point percentage so far here from Nagoya. Well, nice pass by Soto, and counted. And they'll go to the free throw line with Anthony Clements. Well, great take by Kai Soto. Well, did he use his left hand? I think he did, maybe. Maybe not. So Kinaliwa. Second foul against Aaron Henry. Unable to convert the three-point play. Still a 12-point lead in favor of Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Little teardrop. Oh, again, sweet like stream music by Scott Etherton. Because he had to put a high arc and negative parabola to avoid the block from Kai Soto. Yatai finding Soto on the handoff. Back to Clements. He'll go for another 3. He's made 2. Now make that his third triple. Both teams getting off to a good start here in the second quarter. Can they make a 7-3? That's way off the mark. Rebound collected by Matsuyama. Just need a patient offense here. A high screen from Soto. Clements, he's been on fire. Doesn't get it. Well, could have gone for the roll there. Soto was wide open. But now they have to defend again. Well, here's where Nagoya Diamond Dolphins have been much better, fighting for every offensive rebound. This team just wants it a little bit more. They're a little bit more hungry. They'll have another 3. Now make it 7. They had 13 yesterday. Senketsu Hatamoto comfortably gets into a set shot right in the corner. Well, Seika Dumbuya back into the lineup. Because the second leading scorer right behind Anthony Clemens tonight. Dumbuya. Soto trying to seal off, but Diawara now goes back to Dumbuya. Diawara just loses balance. That's going to be a jump ball. Possession hour does go in favor of the Koshigaya Alphas. Surprised to see that Nagoya Diamond Dolphins want to keep playing man-to-man. Soto going for the back down. Little fadeaway. Oh, baby! Well, Ilista Mona. May not be a three-pointer, but you gotta love that little touch from Kaiju. Soto has looked a little bit stiff in this game in terms of maybe just it being a back-to-back as Henry goes for a step-back 3. Soto comes up with it. Foul is going to be called on the ground. So that foul is indeed going to be called. Well, here you can see Keiti Momura back in the lineup. Because it was on Taketo Kato. Because both teams rotating quite often here in these early May. Now, wow, age is just a number. 40 years young. Checking into the game is Shuhei Kitagawa. Soto finds Clemens. Henry doesn't want to allow him to have any shot from the perimeter. Dumbuya around the defense. A lot of contact and finishes. Under intense pressure, cutting it down to a 10-point deficit. As he now has 10 points himself. That's a great penetration by Seika Dumbuya. Because you just wonder how much contact was given. Edison now in the paint. Because the presence of Kai Soto means they've got to go from the three-point line. Soto comes up with a rebound. Can they cut it down to single digits? Well, that's good defense. They've got numbers. Imamura's made 3 threes. Now makes it 4. He is on fire. Unconscious from downtown. 8 3-pointers converted by Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Well, there's a Spanish pick and roll. They find Soto. Soto's got to go up with it. Well, no foul given. Caught between 2 players, but now the foul's going to be on the ground. This time it's on Shuhei Kitagawa. Well, that's the tough thing about this Nagoya Diamond Dolphins team. They are just tough to defend. But when they shoot 43% from the three-point line, 7 out of 16 in the first half, you know it's going to be a mountain to climb. Oh, correct that. No, it's 8 out of 17, I said. Well, Ketso makes the pass. Soto, good defense. And that's what I'm talking about. Well, they can use a coach's challenge if they like. Let's have a look here. There's a spin out by Kato. Finds Williams. No, I think that's the right call. I think the referee has that one correct. Another foul is going to be committed. I think that's on Anthony Clements. Little mid-range coming from Anthony Henry, way off the mark. Offensive rebound, and another and one going to Scott Etherton as he'll go to the free throw line. Well, it's like yesterday. Nagoya Diamond Dolphins just come up with too many offensive rebounds. Well, that's good defense by Clements, but Sekou Doumbouya, that time falling asleep on defense because it was Scott Etherton coming from the weak side. It's only his first personal foul, but now it does allow Scott Etherton to extend his to a potential 16-point lead. Takumi Saito back in the lineup. Three-point play converted. Koshigaya got to try to get it to single digits. Doumbouya, nice little handoff, or dish down, excuse me, or dump down, whatever you want to call it. Another assist going to Soto. Sekou Doumbouya now in double figures. He actually has 12 points. He's got 10 points in his last field goal, and that's going to be an unforced turnover. Great defense from Shuhei Kitagawa. Doumbouya getting that screen from Soto. Wants the paint entry. Soto turnaround. Got to do better than that, but good defense by Scott Etherton. Because Koshigaya's got one foul to give. Finds Etherton inside the paint. It's way too easy. It's penetrations coming from the baseline. And little handoffs. Takumi Saito completely dissecting Koshigaya's defense apart. As Coach Ruzo Anzai will call timeout. It's right here. Gets a one screen. Then the hesitation baseline. And finds the screener, which was Scott Etherton. No communication from Koshigaya's defense whatsoever. Well, 4:51 to go here in the second quarter. 16-point lead to Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. The one thing that separated these two teams, indeed, has been the three-point shooting. Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, 8 out of 17 from downtown. Well, only 4 out of 9 for Koshigaya. Soto coming up for the high screen. Well, kicks this one out. Probably should have gone for that. Seiko Dumbuya. Caught a double. In the end, turns it over. Now here comes Nagoya. Great take by Henry, but he misses the layup. Should have converted that one. And that's going to be the final team foul against Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Well, the reason that was good defense, you saw there the rotation coming. Actually from Kyle Richardson, because Dumbuya could have had a good look at Kai Soto. That's the reason why Nagoya is the second best team in the B-League, right behind Nagasaki Velka. Defensively, they're tough to break down. Clements. Soto comes up with it. Twisting, turning. Still can't finish, gets his own rebound, but they got to call a push in the back, I think. Yep. That's going to be a second foul on Kai Soto. Well, Kai cannot have any arguments. Watch here. Right there, you just see pushes. Scott Edison in the back. Tough one on Kai, but it's the right call. As Murphy comes back into lineup. Imamura now trying to find his way around the defense. Little step through. Almost comes up with his own rebound. That takes the last touch off of Soto. So baseline possession to Nagoya. Because only 2 seasons ago, Nagoya nearly made the B-League Finals. And it was in that 4th quarter, which they led against Kai Soto's former team, Hiroshima Dragonflies, and lost, and then the Dragonflies went on to win the B-League Championship. Well, Diawara and Ngatai coming back into lineup as Clements and Soto will go to the bench and take a breather. Still a 16-point deficit. Nice little give and go. Edison now, he'll fire a 3. Not going to cut it. Dumbuya battles for the rebound, but Murphy still fights for it. He'll go for another 3. Finally, Koshigaya is able to come up with possession. And it's another turnover. Shun Matsuyama running right to the sideline, but great defense by Takumi Saito. Deja vu. Once Clements goes out of the floor, Koshigaya don't have that backcourt stability. Edison finding Ngatai. Nice give and go. Edison goes in, throws it down with one hand. Well, big time dunk, extending it to an 18-point lead. Now Ngatai goes right into defense, but nothing comes up with it. And nobody for Koshigaya battles for an offensive board. Too much reliance on the bigs. Wow, Diamond Dolphins just too hungry. They want every offensive board. They battle and fight for second chance points. And now they have a 20-point lead with 2:52 to go. A timeout called by Coach Rosso Antai. I mean, right there, Dumbuya's come out to try and block it. Somebody's got to step in to help. Backcourt players need to realize rebounding is not just a big man's game. Well, we'll return from this timeout in just under 1 minute. Well, it's been a terrific game so far for Takumi Saito. Because they have two players, Takumi Saito and Takuma Sato. Sato formerly played in the Chiba Jets. Saito so far 12 points this evening. 1 assist away, indeed. As now we are into 3 minutes. Koshigaya's got a battle in here. Diawara makes extra pass. Close out 3 in the corner. Not going to get it. Rebound comfortably collected. And that's going to be an offensive foul called against Alan Williams. Yeah, clear as daylight. I just wonder if that's going to send him, it should send him right to the free throw line. Well, it's just the contact afterwards that was unnecessary. I think that actually might be their final team foul. Static offense coming from the Alphas. Ngatai trying to find someone to get open. Matsuyama will go for a 3 and finally kickstarts their offense. 5th 3 of the game tonight for the Alphas. Well, they needed something. Nothing was happening for them. Dumbuya, good defense. Now it's a 3-on-2. Well, they go for it. Great take. Dumbuya offensive rebound. A lot of contact and finishes. Oh, Koshigaya Alphas insinuated. They felt that Dumbuya was fouled. He now has 14. So timeout is going to be called by Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. But it's a positive run for Koshigaya Alphas. With just over 100 seconds left here in the second quarter, can they build something? Any form of confidence or identity going into that halftime break? Well, here's a great look at the three-pointer by Matsuyama. Straight off the screen, looking like Sacramento Kings Mike Bibby of 2002. Diawara set the screen. It was going to be a Spanish pick and roll, but they'll take the 3. And here was the fast break. Matsuyama went himself. But Dumbuya came in for the offensive rebound. Well, I don't think there's any contact there at all. I think that's a good no call in my mind. Chris, we talk about the differences, the disparity in three-point shooting. Another big difference tonight. Nagoya Diamond Dolphins have got 19 points from the bench. Koshigaya Alphas, 0. Depth clearly a major disparity between the Alphas and the Diamond Dolphins. High pick and roll coming from Williams. Finds Imamura. Williams trying to go up against Ngatai. Trying to defend him as best he could, but just clearly a mismatch for Alan Williams. Dumbuya has 14 attacks, and this time he gets a call, and he counts it, and he'll go to the free throw line. He's had a terrific game, just like yesterday. Nearly has as many points tonight in the first half as he did in total yesterday. Had 18 points. Of course, converted 3 free throws, converted 1 3-pointer. 7 out of 15 from the field in last night's defeat. Well, tonight he's 7 out of 9. Soto and Clements back into the lineup here for this final 109. Clements' second leading scorer for the Alphas. Three-point play converted. Cuts it down to a 14-point deficit. A little bit of full-court pressure coming from Koshigaya. A lot of space here for Imamura. Avoids the block. Soto comes up with a rebound. That's the paint protection. Not going to get many points in the paint with Kaiju around. Soto now finds Dumbuya. Dumbuya, another foul, another and one. Well, great vision by Soto, but what a tough finish. And Dumbuya now has more points tonight in the first half than he did in the entirety of yesterday's game. So 19 this evening for Sekou Dumbuya. Can go up to 20 if he makes his free throw. Koshigaya Soto could be flooding with a triple-double tonight. He now has 5 assists, 7 rebounds, and 8 points. Well, what are the chances of Kaiju getting that triple-double? Well, we'll come back to this timeout very soon. Well, 47.6 left here in the first half. Now, when Nagoya gets it back, if they go quickly on the next offense, they can actually go 2 for 1. Because they've led by as many as 20 in this game. And Dumbuya can have 20 points if he makes this free throw. Three-point play converted. But if they want to go 2 for 1, they have to go quickly. Still leading by 11. Henry, little step through, and that's way too easy. Just comfortably walked into a Euro step. Because that leading scorer this season at 17 points per game. Dumbuya caught in that double team. Nearly turned it over. Finds Matsuyama. Neither team with any fouls to give. Matsuyama's got to force one up. Well, somebody's got to tell Shun Matsuyama, you've got to shoot it. 24-second violation. Great defense by Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. And they'll get one final shot here at the end of the second quarter. Koshigaya don't want to foul. So here comes Takumi Saito. Saito trying to find separation, a negative parabola. High in 3, and arigato gozaimasu. Well, did he get it off in time? I think he did. That arc was so high. This man is a professor of mathematics. Look at this arc. This is what I call a negative parabola. Oh my goodness. Arigato gozaimasu. Well, that is the end of the first half. We'll be back for the second half in just under 20 minutes. 16-point lead to Nagoya Diamond Dolphins.
しい気持ちで応援よろしく頼んだぞ前向きポジティブ君のため三条アルファマン逃げないんだ諦めないんだ Never give up Never give up 勝手に略すとなぎ立ち向かう突き進むんだ Never give up Never give up 今日も叫ぶエネルギー今日スーパーな君しようバンバンバンバンバンバンバンザイバンバンバンバンバンネギバンバンバンバンバンバンバンバンバンザイバンバンバンバンバンネギバンバン今日も帝国アルファマン逆立ちマインドマイカバク転ダンスは任せろ心はいつもウレピーマンもやもやした時へこんだ時はアルファマンが回し蹴り頼んだぞアルファマン逃げないんだ諦めないんだ Never give up Never give up 勝手に略すとなぎ立ち向かう突き進むんだ Never give up Never give up 今日も叫ぶエネルギー一緒に戦ってほしいこれからもこの街で君の味方だアルファマンこの先もこの街でカモンだカモンだアルファズ
八潮市と株式会社アルファーズはスポーツを通じた地域振興をはじめ青少年の健全な育成市民の健康増進観光振興などを目的にさまざまな取り組みを進めていくプラスアルファタウン協定を締結いたしました。今後は魅力あるまちづくりや地域課題の解決の一助となれるよう八潮市とアルファーズがより一層連携を強化してまいります。はじめに八潮市長大山忍様よりご挨拶を頂戴いたします。
皆様、こんにちは。大変熱戦が続いております、この試合の中にですね、先ほど MC の方からご案内いただきましたように、本市八潮市と株式会社アルファーズが包括連携を結び、アルファタウン協定をこれから執行する形になりました。本市は健康スポーツ都市宣言をしている町でございまして、その中でも特にこのアルファーズさんの皆様のお力をいただきながら、より市民の健康、また子育てを含め、より良い活性化に向けてですね、お互いに力を合わせ、ウィンウィンの形でまちづくりを進めていくところであります。本市は誰もが住みやすい、そしてこれからも住み続けたい、そうした町を目指し、住みやすさナンバーワンの町、八潮を目指してまいります。今後とも株式会社アルファーズの皆さん、そしてご列席の皆様の大きな力をいただきながら、お互いにより良い町づくり、地域づくりに取り組んでまいりたいと考えています。どうぞよろしくお願い申し上げ、株式会社アルファーズ、そして越谷アルファーズのますますのご活躍、ご発展をご記念申し上げ、挨拶します。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。続きまして株式会社アルファズ上原和代より挨拶がございます。
皆さんこんにちは。今日も多くのご来場ありがとうございます。今日こうしてですね、八代さんと連携を結べたことを本当に嬉しく思います。これまで以上にですね、我々も八代さんにお邪魔をして、八代市の子どもたち、市民の皆さんがアルファーズがあってよかったと思っていただけるように活動していきたいと思います。そして今日は名古屋から来ていただいたファン、ブースターの皆さんも埼玉県には越谷市、八代市があるということをですね、覚えていっていただいて、これからも引き続きですね、頑張っていきたいと思っております。前半厳しい試合になっていますけれども、後半も皆さんのお力ご声援を借りてですね、頑張っていきたいと思いますので、後半もどうぞよろしくお願いします。ありがとうございました。
それでは写真撮影に移りたいと思います。ありがとうございました。以上で締結式を終了いたします。ここで B リーグパートナー各社をご紹介いたします。B リーグトップパートナーソフトバンク、B リーグタイトルパートナーリソナグループ、B リーグイノベーションパートナーインフロリアホールディングス、B リーグパートナーズイオン生命、TIS、リライティ B リーグサポーティングカンパニーズ、ボルテ、朝日新聞、日本経済新聞社、大塚製薬、野村工芸社、E1 ジャパン、インターネットです。ストライク、スポーツデポ、ロックアイス、ふるさとチョイス、ボーツ、日清食品、DNA、B リーグサプライヤー、&ST ホールディングス、B リーグコミュニケーションパートナー、ライフテク、B リーグスポーツ振興、レフリーサポーティングパートナー、スポーツビジネスディナー、B リーググロースパートナー、電通、以上、B リーグパートナー各社のご紹介でした。
誰もが希望を持って踏み出せる。そんな明日を叶える理想のグループ。心たぎる瞬間とともに夢やエナジーを生み出す B リーグ。2つの思いが共鳴し、あらゆる人の未来にかつてない熱狂をプラスする。ジョイン・ザ・ホープ。リソナグループは B リーグのタイトルパートナーです。求められるインフラは時代で変わる。求められるインフラは地域で変わる。本当に必要なインフラを提供し続けたい。その道のりは険しく果てしない。それでも私たちは地域の未来へパスをつなぎたい。この町には歴史があり、この町には光がある。私たちはこの町に歴史も暮らしも光もつないでいく。さあ、次は君の番だ。君の情熱をつなげ、トーテック。
恐れるな。それは本気で挑戦した証。
株式会社センスメイキング、株式会社 USB、株式会社チェンジ、株式会社ジャム、プレスメディア株式会社、モニ株式会社、株式会社ソーシャルテック、株式会社掛け足スペイン、株式会社 HRC、株式会社ビジネスインフォメーションテクノロジー、株式会社バイオコミットメント、株式会社エロコ、株式会社アイスカフェバイオレーター、株式会社インスペース、株式会社マルニックス、株式会社カジュアラ、大森大工業株式会社、プロシー運輸株式会社、株式会社日体株式会社アケボト運輸、株式会社アットサンドカンパニー、株式会社武蔵野銀行、株式会社モアアジア、株式会社 J コード、ノームズ株式会社、株式会社 NSG、株式会社埼玉市大、中本建設株式会社、株式会社岡本翔太郎商店、株式会社埼玉市立、東武鉄道株式会社、有限会社小山工務店、株式会社モチームパワー、株式会社ウェルネスキャリアスポーツ、トラスグループ中央グリーン開発株式会社、株式会社東電、株式会社ホテル、株式会社 D&S、USN 株式会社、株式会社 N グループ、またご覧のオフィシャルパートナーの皆様にもご支援いただいております。日頃のご支援誠にありがとうございます。
できただろう。
Welcome back, basketball fans. Live here in Koshigaya, Saitama, between this game between Koshigaya Alphas and the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, where currently it is indeed a 16-point lead to Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Well, Nagoya have shot the lights out from the three-point line this evening. 9 out of 20 from downtown. They're currently being led by Keita Imamura, who has converted 4 out of 5 from the three-point line. Well, they haven't missed. Simple as that. 45%. You got to think that's a big disparity between these two teams. Well, they've got to be able to hang in there. Koshigaya know that they're up against the second-best team here in the B-League, but they're going to have to do something about this three-point shooting. Aaron Henry this season, leading scorer this season, but meanwhile for Koshigaya, well, they have been able to convert 5 out of 11. They're 45% from downtown, but it's nowhere near enough. Led by Sekou Doumbouya, who has 20 points. Andy Clemens, 13 tonight for the Alphas. Well, here was Kai Soto connecting with the alley-oop. Well, Kai Soto is near triple-double numbers. 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Guess that'll be quite a landmark for him to get to. Well, there was Tenketsu Haramoto getting in on the action, and it's beautiful basketball. It's penetration. Defense collapses. Look at the little fadeaway jump shot by Soto. And that was his 8th point of the evening. Well, Sekou Doumbouya has indeed been the man leading this team. He had 18 yesterday, 20 so far today. But for Koshigaya, still the problem persists with turnovers. They had 22 yesterday in the big defeat. So far 8, but that's one too many. Nagoya only have committed 4 so far in this matchup. Well, they've just had everything and anything they want on the floor at the moment. And here was the final three-pointer, the high-arcing negative parabola from Takumi Saito. Well, that's where we stand. 16-point lead to the second best team in the B-League, Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Because you look at the stats there, Koshigaya do have more field goals from inside the rainbow, but that's another problem for them. They've just simply been out-rebounded. Only 4 offensive rebounds so far in this game for the Koshigaya Alphas. 17 in total, but 7 less than Nagoya, who do have 24. And the bench points. 0 bench points coming from the Alphas. 21 in total for the Diamond Dolphins. Now, granted that they have dominated, well, I say dominated, but Koshigaya do have more points inside the paint, but it's only 2 difference. Well, Nagoya, from the 8 turnovers committed by Koshigaya, they've been able to convert 11 points from those turnovers. Nearly 3 players in double figures for the Alphas. Kai Soto 1 field goal away from getting to 10 points. Potentially 11 if he gets a 3-pointer. He's only made 1 3-pointer this season. Well, only 2 players in double figures at the moment here for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Scott Etherton and Keita Imamura. Well, welcome back, everybody. Live here at the Koshigaya City General Gymnasium here in the prefecture of Saitama. Koshigaya most likely won't be a playoff contender this year, but Nagoya, not only can they be a playoff contender, they can probably be a championship contender. Well, I was just asked a question by Joe and Hello 380. Correct, yes. So, Koshigaya, are the Alphas out of playoff contention? They're not necessarily out of contention. The problem is for them, it's a lot of games to catch up on. Because you got to remember, 8 teams make the playoffs. I mean, it'd have to go on a miracle of a run, but that's highly unlikely. Soto probably just, remember, he's only come back midway through the season from the injury he sustained last season. Didn't feature for Gilas Filipinas at the World Cup qualifiers. You can just see how desperately Gilas needed him. Scott Etherton, just one of the 2 players in double figures, and not a bad game so far for Cal Richardson. And also Alan Williams. Well, it's going to be Soto starting with Dumbuya. Imamura also back in the lineup here for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Clemens, the second leading scorer tonight here for the Alphas. Welcome back, live here in Koshigaya, Saitama. Second half about to get underway. Well, it's going to be a turnover. Dumbuya, but unable to keep this one in bound. Well, it's plays like that you need defensively to try to inspire offense. Well, I think he could have left that one. I think Imamura may have got the last touch. Well, big time monster dunk by Scott Etherton. Where was the help side defense? Somebody look inside the lost and found. Well, history repeating itself here. Another turnover. That's where Koshigaya have had problems inbounding the ball. That's going to be a foul. No, offensive foul. Just trying to find out. It's on Scott Etherton, I believe. That's his first personal foul. Still an 18-point lead. Alpha's trying to get into something. Soto coming up for the high screen. Finding Clements, pump fakes. Goes in for the lob, can't get it. A lot of contact there, but nothing given. Sense a bit of frustration here for the Alphas on defense. Nice behind the back pass. Saito made the last three. Goes in for another one. Another offensive rebound. Well, a lot of contact, no foul given. And a foul this time will be committed by Keita Imamura. He's come from the side, and a lot of times you do see those get disputed if they need to be upgraded to an unsportsmanlike foul, but it looks like they're going to keep this downgraded. Nobody getting open here for the Alphas. Matsuyama, that's going to be 2 consecutive fouls against Imamura. Nagoya don't want to be complacent here. Don't want to get too comfortable. Just both fouls by Imamura here in the last 2 seconds. Clements goes to his left. Or kick out, they'll go for 3 in the corner. It's up. No good. Still looking for something here in the second half. Henry finding Imamura. Matsuyama. This is where the fouls just get a little bit too sloppy here. I mean, that was good defense by Matsuyama. Because you've defended Imamura. I mean, you keep down, but right there, if he's going to get by you, either trust the help side defense or try to recover. Because that's now his 3rd foul. Only the first team foul against Koshigaya here in the second half. Over 2 minutes played. Imamura kicks out. Clements comes in with the interception. Now, can Koshigaya run? Dumbuya goes all the way, and he misses the layup, but nobody followed him for an offensive rebound. Counted. Takumi Saito, the magician. Wow, he's incredible. He's just simply fun to watch. He's like a Japanese Steve Nash. Mid-range, 3-pointer. Breaks any defense down. I mean, how do you defend him? It's tough. Stands at 172 centimeters. Lightning quick. Three-point play converted, putting it back to a 22-point lead to the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Matsuyama finds Soto on the baseline. Goes for a handoff. Well, he's got a mismatch. Guy gets it, goes up, and Sumabai Kappa. Big time play by Kai Soto. Well, they needed that one from Kaiju. Turnaround. Oh, the bank is open. Henry with the fadeaway. Now getting it to double figures. 7 behind his season average. Lots of right idea on the back door, but that's going to be a turnover. Koshigaya just look like they have no confidence, no identity here in their offense. Jordan Atai back into the lineup. Nagoya Diamond Dolphins looking to pile on more misery, more pressure here against Koshigaya. There's the extra pass. They'll go for another 3, make it 10. Well, the air conditioning just turned on. That touched nothing. But Saito Wide open, uncontested. Again, this guy is simply incredible. 12 points, as many as he had last night. Well, great take in the end by Matsuyama. Now moving up to 5 points. I wonder if he's going to pick up that foul. Well, there you have it. 1,000 B.LEAGUE career points for Shun Matsuyama. Second foul against Jordan Gatai. Well, that's not going to count. Well, Henry finds this amusing. Glad someone sees the funny side of it. That's a tough shot. That's an ooh-wee and nah. That's a Jeff Chan looking shot. Well, Henry right now feeling confidence. Wants to ISO. Goes to his left. Nice Euro step. Step through. Oh! Unstoppable. Now moving up to 12. A man possessed. Looks like he wants to score every time he has the rock. Another one goes flying. That one's good. Well, Clements now moving up to 16, but still they trail by 22. Saito's been on fire so far, but that's not going to count because it's an illegal screen. Well, Williams quite clearly just trying to bulldoze his way through the defender. So 5:26 to go here. Oh, that's clear as daylight. Not going to get away with that one, unfortunately. Well, we have it confirmed. Shunta Matsuyama from his final bucket, 1,000 B.LEAGUE career points. So a big congratulations to him, because now he has the rock in his hands. They'll go for another three. This one's up. Slightly off balance, unable to connect. Still feel that was a wasted opportunity. Could have got a paint entry to Kai Soto. Saito with 12 points. Matsuyama coming up with a rebound. High screen come from Soto. Matsuyama tries to go baseline. And steps out of bounds for a turnover. And you look at the body language. Collectively, Koshigaya looks so deflated. This is a sign of concern here for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins because KT Momora's on the floor. Well, I don't know what happened there. It was the penetration from the other side, closest to the camera view, but I think they're going to have to look at the review here. So watch Imamura on the weak side. I don't think there's it's coming together. I don't think there was any intention to or foul play, but yeah, no foul called. But possession does go back to Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Because great game tonight for KT Imamura. Started on fire in the first quarter. Because Imamura still the joint leading scorer alongside Scott Edison. Both players in double digits. Now, they're almost 5 players away from double figures because Alan Williams has 9 points. Saito with 12, Aaron Henry with 12. And as mentioned, both KT Imamura and Scott Etherton have 13 apiece. 11 out of 25 from the three-point line tonight. Nagoya has been on fire. Saito finds Ellerton. Little teardrop, bang, sweet play. And they make it look easy. 15 tonight, he's their leading scorer. Second leading scorer in the game behind Sekou Doumbouya. Soto Silov. Now they called a 3-second violation. Kai just capping out a little too long in the paint. And that's now 12 turnovers for the Alphas. Well, change coming in here for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins is Alan Williams. Just needs one field goal to become the fifth player to get into double figures for them. 24-point lead. Mora being defended by Diawara. Haramoto tries to penetrate. Everton finds Saito in the handoff. There's that one-legged fadeaway. Again, looking like Dirk Nowitzki of the B-League. The one-legged fadeaway. There's a reason this team is the second best in the B-League. Natsai fires a three, and that's way off the mark. All of a sudden, it's all too silent tonight. Low atmosphere. Haramoto lost control of it, but that's going to remain possession to the Diamond Dolphins. Well, change coming in. It's Nakahigashi back into the lineup here for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Also is Taketo Kato. Haramoto thought about going for it. Finds Williams, and now indeed becomes the fifth player for Diamond Dolphins in double figures as he now has 11. Keta finds Diawara. Finally gets something to go. Now it's cut down at 26. Because they've got to believe. As I said, the body language tells you everything. The defense needs to be more compact, more physical. A foul is going to be called against Ikeda. So 2:57, both teams, any more fouls, they'll send each other to the free throw line. Scott Edson can go up to 19 points if he makes his free throw. Because another one of these import players who's just fantastically integrated into the Japanese B-League. Originally from Orlando, Florida, went to Northeastern University in Boston after playing at St. Francis. He started his pro career in Italy, in Sicily on the island in the south of Fortitudo Agrigento. He also played in Germany, but prior to coming to Japan, played for Baxi Manresa in the Spanish ACB. Koshigaya avoid the turnover. Natsai attacks, goes in, misses the layup. Can Nagoya make it a 30-point lead? And it's another foul. So now Alan Williams will go to the free throw line. And it's just foul after foul that, it's not a bad foul, but if you just put them into the penalty and you're trailing by as many as you are, just allow this team to continue to build a sufficient lead. Well, timeout called. We'll be back in just under 1 minute. 28-point lead to Nagoya Diamond Dolphins against Koshigaya Alphas. Well, 2:40 left here in the third quarter. Clements also back in the lineup here for Koshigaya Alphas, and they just need some form of inspiration because it just hasn't been a great outing since the second quarter. Alan Williams, originally from Phoenix, Arizona, went to UC Santa Barbara. Just briefly spent some time in the NBA, went undrafted, but he started his career with the Qingdao Double Star Eagles of the CBA in China. Go spend some time in the Korean Basketball League with the Goyang Sonu Sky Gunners. Brief time in the NBA with both Phoenix Suns and Brooklyn Nets. Over 2.5 left. 30-point margin. Soto also back in the lineup. Clements calls for the ISO. Goes straight to the bucket. Guy goes in, put back. Oh, he may have an injury here. Soto now at 12 points, and this is a worrying sign because Williams. That doesn't sound good indeed. Well, he looks like he's in a world of pain. Now, I'm not sure if it's an ankle roll. The silence from everyone, well, it may just be a rolled ankle. That is a sign of concern there for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Let's have, there's a penetration by Clements. I think it's an ankle twist. Yeah, I think he lands on the foot of Kai Soto when he comes down. Let's have a look here. Can we get a better look at it? Well, best of luck to Adam Williams. Of course, hopefully it's not too serious, because they're going to definitely need him towards the long run of the end of the season, as Richardson comes back into lineup for Nagoya. Nakigashi goes to the mid-range. Cannot connect. Rebound collected by Dumbuya. Well, Soto wide open. Comes up with it. Kicks out. Wide open three. And that's a 5-0 run. Well, that's 6 assists now for Kai Soto. 8 rebounds, 12 points. Could Kaiju get a double-double? A triple-double, excuse me. Well, there's another 3 coming. Not going to get it. That goes out of bounds. Koshigaya will retain this. They're on a 5-0 run. Because 135. Can they cut it below 20 points? That's the 6th assist of the night for Kai Soto. And because a lot of people criticize him for not giving effort. That time he ran in transition. Spanish pick and roll being set. Soto gets it in the paint. Another kick out by Kai. Dumbuya wants to go for the ISO. Goes in. Now a 7-0 run from Koshigaya. They've cut that 30-point deficit down to 23. Dumbuya now moving up to 22 points. Diamond Dolphins under 10 here on the shot clock. Kato. Wow, good rejection. Kai comes up with it. But they turn it over. Just when they had a potential 2-for-1 coming. Tough one indeed. This is take by Katso, can't get it. Tipped out. Dumbuya, so far leading scorer in this game. A lot of contact goes in, just cannot finish. Clements with the follow-up, and it's a 9-0 run from Koshigaya. And the 2-for-1, 5 seconds difference between game and shot clock. 18 tonight for Anthony Clements. Koshigaya's got to switch back because Kato's being defended by Soto. There's a kick out. They'll go for another three. There's a foul, and that is just a silly foul to give away. They build a 9-0 run. Whoa, let's have a look here. Takedo Oba, how much contact was there? It's the slightest of contacts on the arm, but why? So 3 free throws now coming up here for Nakahigashi. As Aaron Henry comes back into the lineup. Well, as the great Rasheed Wallace would say, sometimes the basketball may tell a little bit of science fiction. Because Nakahigashi, so far in this game, actually hasn't scored tonight. He's 0 for 3 from the field. Guess he's been 23 out of 63. It was a 36% three-point shooter, but he's an 80% free throw shooter. He only averages 4 points per game this season. Third one good. Back to a 23-point lead. .8 left here in the third quarter. Clements kicks out Matsuyama. 1,000 B.LEAGUE career points, and indeed cuts it down to 20. Well, that's a huge 12-2 run to end the third quarter, but still it's a big margin. Clements getting that high screen, but denies it from Soto, and it kicked out, and Matsuyama had to take a tough one at an awkward angle. But they'll take anything, any form of inspiration as we head into the final 10. We'll be back in under 2 minutes for the fourth quarter. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Japanese B.LEAGUE. We're live in Koshigaya of the Saitama Prefecture. We're currently the second best team in the B.LEAGUE. Nagoya Diamond Dolphins lead by 20 points against Koshigaya ALPHAS. Well, Nagoya disappointingly failing to make the playoffs last season. Kai Soto, 1 rebound away from a double-double and 4 assists away from a potential triple-double. He does have 12 points. Nagoya look like they've come out in a 2-3 zone. Dumbuya goes up for a tough one. Oh, failed attempt there on offense. That's going to be a traveling violation. Well, Aaron Henry may have felt there was a lot of contact as he was impeded. That's going to be the 8th turnover of the game for Nagoya. So Koshigaya will get another crack at it. Soto finds Henry. Oba finds Soto. Nagoya's got to put up a tough three. It's up. And double-double for Kai Soto. Can he get those 4 assists? Well, right idea. But it's another, that's his 6th turnover tonight. Well, Kai's got his double-double at least. But can he get 4 more assists to that triple-double? High screen coming. Henry comes up with it. Avoids a traveling violation. Henry keeps it in one hand. Can't finish. Offensive rebound for Nagoya. Saito's been magic so far on the ball screens. It goes out of bounds. Slight deflection by Takeru Oba. So 3.6 left here on the shot clock. Saito hesitates, goes in. Soto comes up with his 11th rebound. Over a minute and a half played here in the 4th quarter. Double high screen coming. That's going to be a blocking foul. Second, no, that's only the first team foul here for either team. I think you heard the reaction from Takumi Saito. Said, Nande? What? Let's have a look at the replay here. This is a take by Matsuyama. That's a good call. That's a blocking foul in my mind. We gotta get it in bounds. Well, they turn it over. Imamura comes up with it. And this becomes the same mistake over and over again. Koshigaya inbound sets with their baseline, sideline. That's where they commit a lot of the turnovers. Soto finds Matsuyama. Now make it 7 assists for Kai Soto. Kai needs 3 assists for a double-double. A triple-double, excuse me. Back to a 19-point deficit. Murphy inside the paint. Nice little finish. Cool as you like from the mid-range. Made that one look so easy. Soto finds Clemens. Little teardrop. Doesn't get it. Nagoya just want to keep putting on more pressure. Murphy sets a mismatch, goes for another deep 3. This guy cooking right now. That's a tough shot. And his face. His 2nd 3 tonight. Standing it back to a 24-point lead to the Diamond Dolphins. Soto goes all the way uncontested. Again, magic play by Kai Soto. 14 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Murphy again, mismatch. Soto comes up with his 12th rebound. Matsuyama again, just try to go for the tough pass. The defense read that one. Saito in transition. Kicks out. Imamura's made 4 threes. Now make it 5. Cooking from downtown. A timeout is going to be called by Koshigaya. 25-point lead to Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Incredible display. 13 three-pointers converted by the Dolphins. They play beautiful basketball, but the defense just hasn't been good enough tonight for Koshigaya. Well, for Koshigaya, it's about pride at the moment. Just a big win for them against Toyama Grouse's pride of coming into this weekend, but you got to think at some point, this team's got to be able to reflect and learn and find out ways to eliminate some of the unnecessary turnovers they've committed. Because they have 16 tonight. It's 6 less than they had in yesterday's defeat against Nagoya. They've got to learn to take care of the basketball, but they've also got to learn how to inbound it without turning it over. Nate finds Soto. Soto step through, gets fouled, but he doesn't get the and one. Second foul against Troy Murphy. Well, Takuma Sato will check into the game for the first time. Former Chiba Jets player. Because Takuma Sato, when he played for Chiba Jets, played against both Troy Murphy, his current teammate, and Kai Soto, when both of them played for Hiroshima Dragonflies in the first round of the 2023 B.LEAGUE playoffs. Soto missed another free throw. The cheers coming from the visiting Nagoya Diamond Dolphins fans. Second one good for Kai. $15 tonight for Soto. 3 assists away from a triple-double. The team still trails by 24. Edmonton was wide open. Imamura has made 5 threes. Not going to get this one. Saito. Surely not. Surely. Now, I'm slightly confused here because the thing is, did Soto catch it above the rim? I would need to ask. This is where my knowledge of referee, because that is no way going in, but did he receive that? Well, this is going to be a very interesting interpretation. I don't think I've ever seen this in the game of basketball before. There's the shot attempt. Wow. So no basket given, I believe. No, it's going to be a head coach's challenge. So head coach Scott Edison's called for it. So the officials now will have to go to the monitor to find out if this now needs to be overturned from the original decision. But I've never seen that in basketball before. Because quite clearly it was going to be an air ball. It wasn't going in. There's the original 3 from KT Imamura. Now Takumi Saito puts up a prayer. That's nowhere near going in the basket. But here's where I'm not sure. Now, again, I'm not a referee, but it's on its way down. Does he catch it before it's up? Yeah, he catches it above the basket. That's the thing. Nope, no basket. Now, I think the rule, what the referee's explaining, it's not inside the cylinder. That's why it's not a goaltender. That's why I was surprised at first, but unsure just to say because did he catch it above the basket? But clearly, that has no impact. So, okay. No basket given. That for sure will be another rebound for Kai Soto. Nagoya. Foul is going to be called. That's on the ground. That's going to be the 3rd team foul against Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. So it's different now. You see Kai looking a little bit more aggressive, trying to really assert himself in the offense, more post-ups. We didn't see that in the first half. Negrani's being defended by Tenketsu Haramoto. We respect that's a mismatch. Soto gets that high screen. A wide open three, look in the corner, and that's buried away. Well, neatly tucked away by Kai Sugawara. Well, they'll try to respond with a three in their own is Nakigashi. Offensive rebound by Scott Etherton. Finds Takumi Saito. Saito running circles around the screens. Mid-range, up. Simply automatic by Takumi Saito. 14 tonight for him. 2 more than he had yesterday. And gives a high five to Takuma Sato. There's a one screen. He's like Steve Nash of the B-League. Just uses Scott Etherton to perfection. And that mid-range, the three-point shot, whatever you like. That is poetry in motion by Takumi Saito. Terrific game. Now, he was 1 assist yesterday away from a double-double. Saito yesterday finishing with 12 points, 9 assists. Well, Aaron Henry was 1 rebound away from a double-double as well. While tonight, Takumi Saito, 14 points, 2 assists away from a double-double. There's nobody near those stats. The only player that has a double tonight is Kai Soto. Now, as I've been saying, he's 3 assists away from a triple-double. But there are your stats tonight. Because Koshigaya now with 10 3-pointers, nearly as many, but look how many times Nagoya's gone to the free throw line. 18 out of 21. They've only missed 3. Well, congratulations. Over 4,300 spectators tonight here at the Koshigaya City General Gymnasium. Live here in the Saitama Prefecture. The other thing that's been quite concerning in this game, only 5 bench points have come from Koshigaya. 32 have come from Nagoya, but you compare these two teams, as I said, Nagoya, the second best team in the B-League. They'll be chasing a B-League championship this year. That's going to be a 4th and final team foul against Nagoya. Well, shout out to Carl Batista, 0907, watching live on B-League International as Anthony Clements comes back in the lineup. And if you are watching this game, let us know where in the world you're watching and which team you're supporting. Clements finds Soto. Soto's got to get open here. Finds Clements. That's a tough pass. Kai's got to be ready for that one. Right idea there, but just a bit of miscommunication between both players. Still a 23-point lead to Nagoya. They'll be putting a lot of pressure against Nagasaki Velka for the #1 rec in the B-League. Edison left uncontested, wide open, buries it. Well, he can't make those. We've seen that time and time this season, last season, the season before in the B-League. As he now goes up to 22. Nice pass. Oh, I missed the layup. And that would have been Soto's 8th assist. Wow. Because New Zealand and Gilas have quite a rivalry, a respectful rivalry in the Asian Cup and the World of FIBA Hoops. Guys got to be thinking, bro, I'm near a triple-double, man. You got to make that. Well, I think Soto may leave the game as coming up. So I don't think we're going to see Soto for the rest of the night. But still a very good individual performance by Kaiju. Kai leaves the game, 15 points, 12 rebounds, and could have been 8 assists had Ngatai made that layup. Well, welcome to John Kabuga, 4903, watching from Kenya. Welcome, my friend. So another foul has been committed. So because Nagoya had put Koshigaya into the penalty, does mean free throws now coming up here every time for Koshigaya as Anthony Clements makes the first one. Clements 19 points tonight. That's his first made free throw because he's converted 4 out of 5 from the three-point line this evening. Time running down in this game, of course. It's been a terrific performance by the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. A display of excellence. Hatamoto thinks about the three-pointer. Goes to step through, a little too strong off the bank. Alphas want to push this one. Clemens straight to the rack, goes in, can't finish, gets his own rebound. And in the end, comes up with the second chance points. Well, there's another foul. That's going to be against Kamata. Or is that Kamata? Is that... Might be Sugawara, excuse me. Well, it's on Kai Sugawara. That's his third personal foul, but I think the talking point tonight is Muntik nang magkaroon ng triple-double si Kai Soto. Because nearly having that triple-double, but 3 assists away was in the end. Like I say, with 3 minutes, I don't think we're going to see him come back in the lineup. But free throws coming up for Senketsu Hatamoto. Hatamoto looking to extend it back to a 24-point lead. Because the veteran of this team, he makes the second one. 3:01 left here in the fourth quarter. Because Clements right now just trying to get anything he can in these last few minutes. And welcome to Mark2519 watching from Melbourne, Australia. Because great to see so many B-League fans watching across the globe. Well, question from Sherwin009 Simon 00. Any chance of Koshigaya Alphas making the playoffs? Well, it's the best 8 teams in the B-League that go on to the playoffs. And if I was to tell you right now the standings, let alone the conferences, because in 8th place, it's actually Levenga Hokkaido, St. Papa Dwight Ramos' team. They have a record of 29 victories and 14 losses. Whereas Koshigaya, 16 wins, 27 losses. Well, that puts them roughly 13 wins behind a potential playoff spot. Well, welcome to Pascal Nussul, watching from Deutschland. Guten Tag, wie geht's dir? Ich verstehe Deutsch. Ich liebe Deutschland Basketball. Welcome to Sanjeev, watching from Doha, as well as Tony, watching from Canada. Welcome everybody to B-League International. Another 3 goes flying, and now you can see Nagoya Diamond Dolphins have made it rain. Takumi Saito. Oh, no, excuse me. Got that one wrong. That time, Hio Ozawa from downtown. This team has been simply fantastic tonight. Could they be B-League champions? Yatai gets bumped. Yatai trying to go for an ISO. Heavy defense coming from Haramoto. It just won't go. Welcome to Julian Varel Mille, watching from España. Hola, buenos días. ¿Qué pasa? Hablo un poquito español. Final 2 minutes. Because terrific perimeter shooting tonight has been a big difference. Nakigashi from downtown. That was on target. It goes out of bounds. And eventually the ball finds its way back down through the gravitational pull. Well, if you compare both games yesterday, Nagoya Diamond Dolphins were 13 out of 32 from the three-point line. Well, this evening, well, they've been two better, 15 out of 34. That's another turnover. Nakigashi comes up with it. Haramoto crosses over, goes in, and the veteran takes his time and gets right to the bucket. 10 points tonight for Tenketsu. Another turnover. It's become a disaster. Nakigashi, another three. As Diawara comes up with a rebound. Because Koshigaya just trying to finish this, want to get this final minute over. Yatei telling it over again. How many turnovers have we seen here in the fourth quarter? Nakigashi, another kick out. Haramoto. Well, Nakigashi's fourth attempt from three-point line. It just won't go in. Koshigaya, of course, have to look forward to their next games coming up next weekend. This challenge only gets tougher for the ALPHAS. Yes, indeed, they'll be going on the road to play against Kai Soto's former team, Yokohama B. Corsairs, who aren't having the best season themselves. Well, in the case of Nagoya, they will be at home against Guma Crane Thunders. So that will be a top 8 clash. Haramoto inside the paint, a lot of contact. Rebound has been secured. But Koshigaya just can't take care of the basketball. They've committed nearly as many turnovers. They've got 20 turnovers tonight. They committed 22 yesterday. Now, granted, it's the second string players on the floor, but they've got to take care of the ball. Kazuyo Ozawa, after making the three-pointer, now at the free throw line. Makes it a 29-point lead. The same margin they won by yesterday. They won 101-72. They lead by 29 tonight. Well, that will do it, fans. We thank you for joining us here in Koshigaya Saitama. The second best team in the B-League, Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, win 109-80. What a big victory indeed. 2 consecutive 29-point wins for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins against the Koshigaya ALPHAS. Of course, like I said, the big talking point for the Koshigaya fans was Kai Soto's near triple-double. Muntik nang magkaroon nang triple-double si Kai Soto. It just wasn't meant to be. But a great individual performance by Kaiju, as he ended up finishing with 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. They were led by Anthony Clements, who had 24 points. Second leading scorer was Seika Dumbuya, who 20 points in the first half, only had 2 points in the second half. It just wasn't enough for the Koshigaya ALPHAS. 6 players in double figures tonight here for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. They were led by Scott Etherton with 22. KT Momura finished with 18. While Takumi Saito, 2 assists away from a double-double, and he had 14 points and 8. But Alan Williams, having left the game with an injury, he finished with 13. While Tenketsu Haramoto was the 6th and final player in double figures with 10. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us live here. We thank you to all the B-League International fans watching across the globe. We are going to get an interview with head coach Scott, Coach Dennis. Because there's the next matchups, as we mentioned. Nagoya Diamond Dolphins will be at home against Gunma Crane Thunders, while Koshigaya will be on the road against Kai Soto's former team, Yokohama B. Corsairs. But as I said, we're going to get an interview with Coach Dennis, the game's most valuable player, which I don't know who it's going to be. It probably might be Scott Etherton, who had 22. We'll run down the best highlights, and then we'll look at the fixtures coming up next week, as well as the stats from this big game. Oh, Dankeschön, Pascal Nussel. Heute ist Nagoya Diamond Dolphins Tag. Koshigaya players just getting the applause from their fans, their loyal fans. Over 4,300 spectators tonight here. They would have come into this weekend with a bit of confidence, knowing that they had a big victory against Toyama Grouses. Well, thank you to the kind comments from Sherwin 009 Simon 00. Because FIBA has a great commentating team. I'm just happy to be a member of that great team. And of course, fans, if you're watching live, get ready for BCL Asia. Of course, BCL Asia East starts very soon. The first window we'll have is in Indonesia in just 10 days' time. Of course, I'll be flying to Jakarta to commentate those games. And if you're in the Philippines, why not take a little flight over to Jakarta, enjoy some nasi goreng. But let's listen now here to Coach Dennis.
ショーン・デニスコーチ、本日の勝利おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
試合振り返っていかがでしょうか。
You know, it's Sundays has been difficult for us, and I know the team was very determined to get off to a good start, and I thought our offensive execution in particular was very good early on.
最近日曜日が課題になってますが、今日はチームが出だしからすごく良かったと思います。特にオフェンスの面では良かったと思ってます。
はい、特に先週の茨城戦のが大変苦労したゲームだったので、今日は非常にいい入りができたと思います。一貫性についてはいかがだったでしょうか。
Well, if we can come out on the second day and play like we did today, then I think we're starting to take care of that consistency, but it is something we need to keep working at.
一貫性としては今日みたいな、セカンドで、2日目がこれができるんであればだいぶよくはなっていると思いますけど、ここからもやっていかなきゃいけないです。
はい、ありがとうございます。次節に向けて一言お願いいたします。
Yeah, we have a bye week coming up because of the EASL finals, and to the fans, we're going to go and work hard this week, and particularly put together some tough practices back to back, so we can keep working on our consistency for those Sunday games.
これ EASL のファイナルで、バイウィークがありますが、その間にもう本当にバックトゥバックの、激しい練習をして、この一貫性を保てるようにしたいと思っています。
ありがとうございました。おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
Well, they heard Coach Dennis, of course, talking about consistency with his team, understanding that they've got to find ways to be able to continue to win games and put that further pressure. Well, let's listen now to Takumi Saito. We'll get this translated very soon.
試合振り返っていかがでしょうか。
はい、先ほどコーチの方からもあったんですけど、自分たち今シーズンゲーム1は良くてもゲーム2のところで、入りが良くなかったりとか負けてしまう試合が多かったんですけど、やっぱり、先週のところからチームでもそこはしっかり話し合っていて、今日みたいな試合展開ができたっていうのは本当に良かったのかなというふうに思います。
はい、いよいよ首位が見えてきましたが、この次節に向けても一言お願いいたします。
はい、次の試合まで少し時間も空くので、自分たちがどういったところを修正しなきゃいけないのか、またどういったバスケットを展開したいのかっていうのはもう一度チームの方でしっかり話し合っていい練習ができるようにやっていきたいなというふうに思いますし、次の群馬戦もお互い負けられない戦いになると思うので、そこに向けてしっかり練習の準備できたらいいなというふうに思います。
最後にドルファミの皆さんに一言お願いします。
はい、昨日会場入りして本当にびっくりしたんですけど、多くの方が、ドルファミの皆さん多くの方が会場に来てくれて、アウェーにもかかわらず多くの応援のおかげでしっかり2連勝できたのかなというふうに思うので、次の群馬戦久しぶりのまた IG アリーナでの試合になるので IG アリーナでお待ちしてます。
はい、ありがとうございました。はい、おめでとうございます。
Well, we will get that translated very, very soon. What was said by Takumi Saito, he was 2 assists away from a potential double-double tonight here for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. A phenomenal performance collectively with 6 players in double figures. Just overall a very big win. Another fantastic victory for this great team. Well, we are going to just find out if we're going to get one more interview. And if not, then we'll go straight to the highlights before we look at the stats and then the upcoming games next week in the B-League. Well, Koshigaya, we'll take a look at the highlights very, very soon. Well, I think the big difference in this game was early on. I mean, the problem is the depth is the problem. We see that in the bench points for Koshigaya Alphas. They don't possess nearly the same depth as the top 8 teams in the B-League. And, you know, you're talking about the second best team in Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. Well, Nagoya, of course, took their time to get into the motions, but one thing they got going very early was the three-point shooting. That time, Aaron Henry, as we saw 3 early threes coming from KT Momora in that first quarter. Well, Anthony Clements, excuse me, that time, of course, led the scoring this evening for Koshigaya Alphas. That time, Momora decided to go into the screen, and Clements, well, made him pay. Well, there was the take by Shun Matsuyama, who, congratulations to him tonight for achieving 1,000 B-League career points. Because there was another one coming from Anthony Clements. Well, here was a nice move by Soto. That time being heavily defended by Kyle Richardson. Just went for the twist and turn baseline. So that time Sekou Doumbouya, who had 20 points in the first half. I mean, he looked unguardable. He looked like there wasn't going to be an answer for him. Well, we just haven't translated what Takumi Saito said in the interview, so we're going to tell you now. So Takumi Saito said, we often struggle in game 2s. Because in the B-League, they have double-headers every weekend. But I'm glad we were able to address those issues through team discussions this time. We'll continue to talk as a team before the next game so we can take our play to the next level. Further said by Takumi Saito, I was really happy to see many fans come out to support us on the road this time. I'm looking forward to the next game against Gunma. Please keep cheering for us. Because those were the words of Takumi Saito in that interview. What a game Saito had. Because that time Soto getting blocked and then going in with a two-handed big-time dunk. Well, he is that leading scorer this season, Aaron Henry. Because you got to remember, this is the team that Bobby Ray Parks Jr. nearly made the B-League Finals with. Well, there was a take again by Henry. Just calmly Euro-stepping his way inside the paint. Here was Soto. That was his 6th assist of the game. Well, talking point obviously will be, could Kai have nearly got a triple-double? That's going to be the burning question. Oh, that was Matsuyama's three-pointer that he'd already achieved 1,000 points by that time. There was Kai Soto's 7th assist. Matsuyama repaid the favor. There's another one in the bag here for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. That was the big three-pointer. It's that time by KT Momora. Fantastic performance from him this evening. Because Saito working magic, coming around 2 screens, and he is so tough to handle. So tough to keep up with. And there was Tenketsu Haramoto getting straight to the bucket. Veteran player for this team. Well, there you have it. Those are the top highlights. As now we'll take a look at some of the key statistics from this game. Well, both teams shot better from the three-point line in this matchup, but you quite clearly see the free throws. Just the big disparity was how many times Nagoya Diamond Dolphins were able to exploit the frailties of Koshigaya's defense. Like yesterday, they've won by a margin of 21 points, and both teams had 21 field goals. Because Koshigaya only had 5 points from their bench. Whereas you compare that to Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, 41 bench points in total. And while Nagoya only committed 8 turnovers, Koshigaya were only able to convert 5 points from those turnovers. And here's another big stat. Because in both games, both defeats for Koshigaya Alphas, they've committed a total of 43 turnovers. 22 yesterday, 21 today. And this is how good Nagoya are. They were able to convert 30 points from the 21 turnovers. So it's no wonder they won by as big a margin as they've done. Well, it's a disappointing second consecutive defeat here for the Koshigaya Alphas. And, well, they'll be on the road as they will go up against Yokohama B. Corsairs next week here in the B-League. But if you are Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, you just keep winning. Keep trying to be the #1 team in the B-League. Because Kai Soto leading in rebounds and assists, as I've said so many times tonight, 3 assists away what could have been a triple-double. Richardson had 9 rebounds, he led, while Takumi Saito was 2 assists away from a potential triple-double, as he did have 15 tonight here for Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. I think that was key what you heard from Takumi Saito say in the post-game interview, is that they've always had issues winning Game 2s on their doubleheaders every weekend. Because maybe it's fatigue, maybe it's mental code of instability in terms of being able to try to process a second win, but because they'll take a lot of homage from this one. They'll pay each other a lot of respect for being able to collectively come out with a victory, but they're going to have to do it again next week. And, well, next week they'll go up against a top 8 team, a potential playoff contender. Who knows, maybe a championship contender. Well, there are the other matchups that will be coming up next weekend. Akita Northern Happy Nets, with the worst record in the B-League, they'll host Kyoto Hanaris. We talked about Alphas going up against B. Corsairs. Osaka Vesa, they'll be going all the way to Hiroshima. Saga Ballooners, they'll host Ibaraki Robots. Lavenga Hokkaido will take on Utsumi and Brex, which will be a battle of the East. Altieri Chiba will take on their rivals Chiba Jets. While, of course, Sun Rocket Shibuya will indeed host Fuku Golden Kings. Toyama Grasses will take on Shiga Lakes, while Mikawa Seahorses will host Kawasaki Brave Thunders. Of course, Diamond Dolphins taking on Guma Crane. While Nagasaki Velka, #1 team, will take on Sendai 89ers, and Fighting Eagles will indeed host Shimane Susanoo Magic. While San Antonio Phoenix, who now have won 8 games in a row and looking to make a playoff push, now 5 victories away, a potential playoff spot, they will go on the road to the capital to take on Alvac Tokyo. Well, there are your matches in the B-League. You can watch them all live next week. But fans, unfortunately, it's that part of the evening where we have to part ways. My name is Josh Bett, and as always, it is an honor to be one of the commentators of B-League International. But for now, it's good night, goodbye, and God bless. Magandang gabi and paalam.